Today I'm doing something completely different from what I usually do. So if you know me or my channel, you know that I usually make Zara fragrance related videos, mostly Zara fragrance reviews. Whenever Zara releases new fragrances, I order them, give them a sniff, and make a review video. But to be honest, and yeah, I'm just being honest, I still love Zara fragrances, but I was getting a little bit sick of the Zara fragrance reviews. And I took a little break and yeah, I kind of wanted to do something different. My personal collection actually consists of mostly designer fragrances, and I kind of wanted to talk about those for a change. So that inspired me to do this video. It's called This or That, or we can call it Battle of the Fragrances. Basically, the idea is that we probably all have fragrances in our collection that are similar to other fragrances that we have. I'm not talking about dupes or anything or flankers. I'm just talking about certain fragrances that give a similar vibe, or that you would choose in similar occasions or for similar events. And I was just thinking, yeah, I wanted to make a video about that for a change. So by no means am I saying that the two fragrances that I will be talking about smell the same or smell similar or are dupes of each other. They're not. Like I said, they mostly are fragrances that I would choose in similar situations. So that's pretty much the point of this video. And also, for a change, I'm in my bedroom today. My boyfriend just got a new job and he's downstairs. He has to make some job-related phone calls. So yeah, this is my setup of today. Just my plain old bedroom. But let's just get started with the video. Now I'm gonna start with some orange blossoms. I am gonna do it per category. And I have a feeling this might be a very long video, so it's possible that I will do it in 2 parts. Maybe even 3 parts, but probably just 2 parts. So if you're watching this and part 2 hasn't uploaded yet, that just means that I'm still working on editing it, but it's gonna come. So I will do some categories today, and then in part 2 some other categories of fragrances. So I'm just gonna get started with some orange blossoms. I actually love all white florals. If you know my channel or you know me, you know that I love florals in general and especially white florals. So we're gonna start with some battles of the orange blossoms. Of course, these fragrances have other notes than just orange blossom, but you get it. So the first battle between the fragrances is going to be between the first one that actually in the fragrance community nobody talks about it. I feel like people think it's boring or outdated or something, but for me it's actually one of my personal favorites, and that is Armani Code. I still have the pre-formulated version. I have 2 bottles of this this version where the black flowers are still on the bottle. I know today the bottle looks different. They did reformulate the fragrance, but honestly I gave that one a try as well, and I'm not really noticing that many differences at all. So I don't think it's a necessarily bad reformulation. What Armani Code definitely needs is some maceration. So the vanilla note in here definitely gets a lot stronger over time after you've sprayed it a couple of times and you just leave it in your drawer. This bottle, I looked up the batch code, and this bottle is 12 years old. I got it from something like eBay. It's genuine, it smells delicious, and yeah, it's old, it has macerated, and it's just beautiful. Now, the fragrance that I will be putting this up against too is Twilly by Hermes. Also not the most talked about fragrance in the fragrance community, but I do feel like some fragrance reviewers talk about it once in a while. And the reason that I'm putting these 2 up against each other is because they do share quite a lot of notes. So they both have orange, orange blossom, jasmine, and they both have a ginger note. Now, bergamot is listed in the notes of Twilly and it's not listed in here, but I'm finding that so hard to believe as I'm definitely getting a pretty prominent bergamot note in this one. So I don't know why it's not listed, but yeah. So what you immediately notice as a difference between these two fragrances, again, they don't smell the same. That's not what I'm saying. These are not dupes. They are not interchangeable. But if I'm in the mood for a orangey, like a very designery orange blossom and orange gingery type of fragrance, then yeah, I have these two options. That's why I put them up against each other. But when you smell Armani Code, you definitely get a very sweet floral. It's not too sweet because I'm not really a fan of overly sweet fragrances, especially gourmands. It's not my thing, but there is a sweet note in here that I really like, that I am sort of missing in Twilly. Twilly does have a vanilla note. That is there. I mean, it does have a little bit of vanilla in the base, and it's a nice fragrance, but it's a lot more... It really has that Hermes DNA. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but to me, most Hermes fragrances, they're just recognizable. They have something that makes you go, is this Hermes? Kind of like what Chanel has. There's something in there that makes you just recognize it as a Chanel, and Hermes has the same. I think this is a cute fragrance, but it just doesn't live up to my precious Armani Code, as I guess it's the honey note maybe that I'm liking so much in this one, even though I'm getting a lot of vanilla too, and then those florals, and oh, just the first time I smelled Armani Code, I actually thought it smelled like a Earl Grey tea with some slices of orange and yeah, like some edible florals in there, let's say. So an Earl Grey tea with slices of orange and some flowers on top. That is what this smells like. I love it. I think it has great performance as well. So I think it's pretty clear in this battle, or in this or that, I'm gonna choose this over that. So that was the first one, Armani Code and Twilly by Hermes. I'm gonna stay in the orange blossoms for now, and I will be putting two up against each other that I feel have a very strong similar base, but again, not dupes. I'm not gonna say that every time. Just know that none of these in this video are dupes of one another, but these definitely have a similar DNA. And the first one is Roberto Cavalli's Signature. I already talked about this one and some other Roberto Cavalli's, actually the Paradiso line by Roberto Cavalli. I have a video about those fragrances. If you want to watch it, it's up on my channel and I will link it in the description below. But I'm gonna be putting this one up against this one, which is Safanad by Parfum de Marly. Now, I've owned this one first. This is very inexpensive. I have this, what is it, 15 ml, I think? No, it's a 75 ml bottle. I paid it 25 euros, I think, with shipping to my house included. So very inexpensive, and it smells absolutely delicious. And I got this one later on, and we'll talk about it in just a second. This one is a sweet orange blossom, orangey, vanilla and amber fragrance. And I don't mean the type of amber that is... I think amber has two faces. You can have that type of amber that's very heavy and almost masculine, and sometimes can be very disturbing to me. And then you have creamy ambers, like in Mugler's Alien or Rouge Malachite. Those are ambers that make something extra warm and creamy, in my opinion. And that is what this one has as well. So it's quite sweet and orangey, but I think it's amazing. And I've always found this to smell kind of like a very luxurious hair mask that is full of good nutrients for the hair. For some reason, my mind goes to that when I smell this. I love it. Then a few months after that, I actually went sniffing, and as I do so often, and I tried Safanad by Parfum de Marly, and it was just a love at first sniff, and it instantly reminded me of the Roberto Cavalli one. But this one, I have to be honest, it smells a lot more sophisticated, more complex. This one is pretty linear. It smells amazing, but it's very simple and linear. This one is a little bit more complicated. No, not complicated, complex. And it's also a little bit more mature. And I'm not saying that in the bad way or anything, but it kind of smells like this could be worn by a mother, and this could be worn by the 20-something-year-old daughter. So that's kind of how I perceive these fragrances. Now, I love both. I absolutely love both. This is not like I'm going to be decluttering the one that I don't choose. That is not the case in this video. I love all these fragrances and they're pretty much all here to stay. But if you were to ask which one should you get, it's kind of hard because I love them both. But I love Safanad a little bit more than this one, just because it smells a little bit more sophisticated. Like I said, it smells a little bit more expensive. But the price difference is so huge. I mean, I got this one as a partial without the lid. Because that's the only way that I was able to afford it, so I got it from someone. Otherwise, it's just way too expensive, and this one is super, super cheap. So it's like literally 10 times the price of this one. And looking at those prices, I'm kind of thinking, even though I do prefer this one a little bit over this one, I don't think the difference in me loving that fragrance is worth the difference in price. So it kind of depends on your own budget, which one you should take. But yeah, they're both nice. Love them. That was Roberto Cavalli's signature and Safanad by Parfum de Marly. Now the last one in the category of orange blossoms are two fragrances that I also find pretty similar in the same category of fragrance, and they also share similar-ish bottles. The first one is called Happy Chopard Bigardia. I don't know what Bigardia is, but it looks like this. This is the bottle. I'm in love with this bottle. I think it's so cute and elegant, and it just reminds me of like a jewel, like a big-ass ring from like Bridgerton or something. I don't know. I think it's a beautiful bottle. They have one with a lemon scent and then one with a magnolia scent, I think. Or could it be rose? Yeah, I think it's with a rose scent. Anyway, I have this one. It's very orange blossomy. And then the one that I will be putting that one up against to is Elie Saab's Le Parfum Lumiere. So the Elie Saab one actually has a lot of florals listed. I also see tuberose, jasmine, gardenia, ylang ylang. But to me, it is very prominent. It's a very prominent orange blossom. And then when you look at the notes of Happy Chopard Bigardia, those notes actually are very, very similar to the notes of Armani Code that we just talked about, but I can already tell you that it does not smell like Armani Code. So even though they have similar notes, yeah, no, that's not what it smells like. I do think these have a similar vibe, but the difference is this one has a carrot note. And I'm not saying I smell carrot, but I smell something besides that orange blossom. I'm smelling something sweet-ish. So not overly sweet, but it's definitely a very straight up orange blossom fragrance, but I kind of think I would have liked it more if it had a little bit of a zestiness, a little bit zing, like maybe some drops of lemon juice would have, just a lemon note, for example, would have made this fragrance a little bit better. It's nice, but I don't love it. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. It's nice fragrance, but it does smell a little bit like old school industrial cleaning products. Sort of what, when I was little, what the cleaning ladies used to mop the floors with. So it smells nice and clean, but I'm not really loving it. It was very inexpensive though. It was only 18 euros and it's a bottle of 40 ml. So I wasn't mad, but this might be going on the chopping block, which already tells you that this one is the winner in this one. It is Elie Le Parfum Lumiere. Now I know that the OG Le Parfum is not unpopular. It's not a super popular fragrance, but I have seen quite a lot of videos where people talk about it. Now I liked that one as well, but the first time that I gave this a sniff, it was just a love at first sniff. I loved this one more than the original. And as you can see, I haven't worn it a lot. I've only worn it twice. I have the smallest little dent, because I have to say, this one was inexpensive too. This is 30 ml and I paid 26 euros. And it's very strong. Well, it's a great performer. You don't need a lot and you really can smell it hours on end when you do wear it. So performance, fantastic. Now, besides the orange blossom here, you get something, you know, the zestiness that I said that I was missing in this one, I do kind of get it in this one. This is more sparkling, actually, is maybe the better word. There's a spark in here, there's some zing, and then there's also something that makes this very elegant and classic. Like, honestly, it does remind me of grandmotherly, heavenly orange blossom. So this is something that I could share with my grandmother. So that's sort of the vibe that I'm getting. It's not like stuffy, old-fashioned, offensive. It's not like that. Unless you hate orange blossom, then you're not gonna like this one. But I think it's both modern and classic at the same time. Really like it. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, very feminine as well. And even though I liked this one at first, yeah, I think it's pretty clear that this is the winner and that is not. And that actually might end up in my declutter video that I'm also planning on making. So that was Elie Le Parfum Lumiere and Happy Chopard Bigardia. Okay, so that was it for the orange blossoms. Now I'm going to go to the musks in my collection. So the first two musks that I will be putting up against each other are both by Narciso Rodriguez, and they both actually look very much alike when you see the bottles, and that is you know, they have the For Her line, which I will also be talking about, and they have the, let's say, the Cube line. And this battle is between two cubes. So the first cube is Narciso, just Narciso, like signature, I guess. It's just the original white cube that has been discontinued for a while now, so I doubt that you can still find it, maybe on Mercari or something. And the one that I think they replaced this one with is this one, which looks pretty similar. This is Poudree by Narciso Rodriguez. And I'm not really sure if that's the case, but I do think when this one was discontinued, this was the new release. So I do think they've created something similar, but in their opinion better or more modern or something. So they're both very musky. Narciso Rodriguez is known for very musky fragrances. I actually love the brand. I love musks as well. But just gonna tell you already that neither of these are favorites of mine. And that is because they're just a little too much for me. So the original one it's very musky, and that is the part of it that I like, but it's also very woody. This has a cedar note. Cedar is not my favorite of woods. I think it can be a little dry and harsh and just sort of sharp almost, and I do think this is the case in this fragrance. So a part of me likes it, but I would never wear it myself, and I actually haven't. No, I've worn it once, and that's when I was just thinking, you know what? This is not my thing. It smells beautiful, but again, I think this would be more for an older woman. A very neat and beautiful and just this sweet, like someone's grandmother, but she's super sweet and you just love going to her house and she makes you some dinner or something. That's the type of person that I'm thinking of when I smell this. So it is a beautiful scent, just not for me. And then we have Poudree, which is, this one is actually, it kind of has two faces. So in the opening, when you smell it like this, it is extremely powdery. The name is Poudree, which means powdery, so that makes sense. Of course, it's very musky as well. And the opening is not my favorite, as I do think it's a little too powdery. But the magic of this fragrance, if you ask me, happens in the dry down. That's when it becomes more sweet, not gourmandishly sweet, but there's something in here that becomes very just cozy, and you kind of smell like a warm hug. And I don't know what it is with Poudree, but men love it. I read a comment once under another video. I already talked about that comment, and the person who made the original comment commented on my video saying, hey, that comment was me. So but that person once commented under another video that wherever she went, when she was wearing Poudree, she got compliments from men. And I wore this one a few times, and every time my husband compliments me when I wear it, he's always saying, oh, this one I really like, this is a really good one. And he doesn't really do that very often. So I kind of think the man magnet thing about Narciso Poudree is actually true. So, what are we choosing? This or that? I think I've made myself clear already that this is not for me, so that is the winner. Even though I don't love it. I think it's a nice fragrance. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna declutter it or anything. And I will wear it from time to time because it just makes me feel so, you know, nice and cozy. But I mean, if I lost my collection, this would not be the first one that I would run to a store to go get back in my collection. And I would probably not put it back in my collection if I were to ever lose it or if I finished the bottle. But it's a nice fragrance. So yeah, that was Narciso the original and Narciso Poudree. Like I said, I love Narciso Rodriguez. So we have two other Narciso Rodriguez fragrances battling against each other or against one another. And that is my beloved Pure Musk, which is, as the name suggests, a very clean, light, pure musk, but not stuffy in any way. It's so light and breezy and soft. It really smells like something like a soft cotton, cream colored or white colored, like peace. It smells like peace of mind, you know, like when you're at peace, inner peace. This is what this smells like. And then the one that I will be putting this one up against too, I hope I said that right, is a new release by Narciso Rodriguez, and it is called Musk Nude, which I have noticed that isn't really getting that much love by fragrance reviewers. I know that Josephine from Jus de Rose, she made a review video about it, saying that it wasn't interesting. She wasn't really impressed with it. She thought it was nice, but that's pretty much it. Now, we have similar tastes, me and Josephine in general, not always, but we have different opinions when it comes to this fragrance. But it does come with a disclaimer. The thing about this fragrance is the opening is absolutely horrible. It smells extremely rancid, and I don't know what that is or how they did it, but the first time I smelt it, I just thought, how on earth can anyone like this fragrance? It smells rancid. I don't have another word for it. There's something not right about this fragrance when you smell it like this. So if you do go out and try it, I would highly suggest give it a spray on skin or even a tester strip that you take with you, because it really needs some time to dry down. But in that dry down, oh my god, it's just so beautiful. It's absolutely a new love for me. I actually once tried it in store, but I was just sniffing it like this. I thought it was horrible. And then maybe a month or 2 months after that, I had actually ordered a fragrance online, and the box came, and the, you know, that light paper that they sometimes sort of wrap your box in, they had actually sprayed that fragrance on the paper. And I was like, wow, this smells so good. And my husband thought it smelled amazing as well. And then I figured out that it was this one. So I just bought it. And still, if I wear it, I have to wait at least like 15 minutes or so before the rancid note or whatever that is goes away, and then it becomes really, really beautiful. So how do these differ? They're quite different, actually. I think they have the same vibe because they both smell like something or someone very soft and honest and trustworthy, someone you feel comfortable with. But this one is more just airy, let's say. I think this is a very airy and light, less is more type of fragrance, whereas this is a little bit more cozy, warm hug. There's quite a lot of florals in here as well. That's probably what I love about the fragrance, because I love florals. So they're quite different, but they are in the same category of fragrances. So the time has come to choose between the two, and I gotta say, this is not an easy one for me to choose between, because I really do love them both. But this one I've had for, I think, 2.5 years. This is my second bottle. This is a new love. I've only had this for, I think, around a month or maybe a month and a half. I think they're both very, very beautiful. I think if you want to impress other people with your fragrance, that this one is the way to go. But for me, I'm still gonna choose this one because it's just a love for me that it's a lifer. If they discontinue this one, I am ordering like 7 bottles on the spot. I just can't imagine not having this one in my collection. It's just my go-to. I don't know what it is. I can't even put it in words. It's a love. It's in my heart forever. But I really love this one as well. So yeah. But this is the winner. So that was Pure Musk and Musk Nude. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the final category of this video because it's already getting to be a pretty long video. So this will be the last category today, but in the other video that I might be recording after this, I'm gonna do some other categories. So yeah, we're gonna start with beachy, tropical, coconutty fragrances. And the first two that I will be putting up against each other is Tom Ford Soleil Blanc and Juliette Has a Gun Sunny Side Up. The only notes that these two have in common is coconut, which is very prominent in both, and jasmine, which I think is only prominent in Soleil Blanc and not at all in Sunny Side Up. So the other notes are pretty different from one another, so I do really think these smell different. This one is very beachy, suntanny, but like a really nice, good, expensive suntanning lotion. I absolutely love it. I think there's something addictive about this fragrance. Just it's so expensive. This is one of the more expensive fragrances in my collection, besides Safanad, but yeah, I bought a partial, so that was affordable for me. This one I had a discount on another discount, so that is why I bought it. So I paid this one, I think 115 euros for 30 ml, which I thought was acceptable, even though it's pricey. But the smell, the scent is so good that I just had to have it in my collection. I love this one. Whereas Juliette Has a Gun Sunny Side Up is a completely different fragrance. Besides that, jasmine and coconut, but mostly the coconut. The only three notes that I'm getting in this fragrance is a very realistic coconut. Then there's definitely a very prominent sandalwood, and then there's ISOE Super, so very prominent in this one as well. Maybe that ambrette I'm also kind of getting. This is really very, like, also cozy, creamy. It's a cozy, creamy, like, but sandalwood creamy type of coconut, whereas this one, Soleil Blanc, is also creamy, but it's like a sweet, floral, coconutty, suntanning lotion type of creamy fragrance. So even though they smell different, I really think they have a similar, there's a similarity between them. And also, I don't layer fragrances. That's just something that I don't want to do. I just want my fragrance to smell good on its own. But the only two fragrances that I've ever layered are these two. And I really liked it. We have the floral coconut here, whereas we have the ISOE Super sandalwood coconut here. And together, I actually kind of really liked it. And I will be wearing them together this summer again. So, and they both have similar colors of bottles, and they both have the word sun in the name. So that is why I put these two up against each other. Now, if I have to choose, which is kind of the point of this video, then I will be choosing Soleil Blanc over Sunny Side Up. If you are into niche fragrances and you kind of want to smell anything but mainstream, I think you would prefer Sunny Side Up, as I can't think of any fragrance that smells similar to this one. Whereas I can think of a few fragrances that smell similar to this one. Rose Passion by Jimmy Choo, that came out last year, smells very similar. It smells similar to kind of Holidays by Mancera. Actually, there are quite a lot of similar fragrances of this one, and this one is more unique. So that, I have to say, it's a lot more unique, and it also has a lot better of a performance. I sprayed this one 2 or 3 times maybe, and I could smell myself all day. I had wafts of the fragrance, so it's really strong. I guess it's the ISOE Super maybe, that makes it so strong. Even though the scent in itself isn't like a strong scent, that's not how I would describe it. Like I said, it's creamy and cozy, but it has really good performance. So performance-wise, this one wins, but I just can't live without Soleil Blanc. After I finish this bottle, I am going to try a dupe, because maybe there are some dupes out there that have equal or even better performance and probably are like 1/5 of the price of Tom Ford's, you know, of this one. So, but yeah, that's the winner for this battle, and that is Tom Ford Soleil Blanc and Sunny Side Up by Juliette Has a Gun. Last one for today, and also the last one of the sunny, beachy, coconutty category, is a very a discontinued fragrance that I think a lot of people are still searching for, and that is Guerlain's Aqua Allegoria Coconut Fizz. I do have to say, be careful when you find it online, because there are a lot of fakes of this one going around. If you find it new in the packaging with the wrapper and everything still on and the price is reasonable, chances are it's a fake. I'm seeing a lot of fakes on Vinted, so I bought this one of someone just in the way it was. They didn't have the box anymore. I actually had two. I bought this one, and then a little bit later I saw someone else selling theirs, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take it. It was a very reasonable price, and both smelled exactly the same, so I'm very sure that these are originals. And I also got them when they were just discontinued, so you could still find them secondhand. But now those new ones, just be careful when you buy them. Now the one that I will be putting this one up against is Aerin Hibiscus Palm. And this one, I have to say already, they do not smell alike at all. The only note I believe they have in common is coconut, and that's probably the only thing. They do smell very different. Coconut Fizz smells exactly like coconut water, like a drink on a tropical vacation, and you have a drink. They made it at the bar where they've put all sorts of tropical fruit in a pitcher of water and coconut water and ice cubes, and they've just let it sit for a while, and then they've poured you a glass. That is what this smells like. So it does smell very nice. There's just something about it. It's a little bit sweet, almost too sweet for my liking, but not candy sweet. It's really like sugared fruit water sweet. It's a very nice fragrance. This one though, smells completely different. It does have a very tropical scent. And honestly, this is a very difficult one for me to describe note-wise, because I'm not good at distinguishing the notes that I am smelling. But it smells so luxurious. The first time I smelled it, I instantly thought of staying at some sort of luxury beachside resort, and you've been out all day on a boat or just, you know, by the sea or the pool, and you've had your shower, and now the resort has put all their tables around the pool for everyone to dine, and you've had your shower, and you're wearing this super nice white long dress and your golden earrings, and it's an expensive resort, and it's time to have dinner now, and you're wearing heels and everything. That is what this smells like, but tropical. So I'm not saying you can't wear this outside of a vacation. Obviously you can, but yeah, it really screams vacation. This is very beachside, tropical, and this one as well. So that is why I put them up against each other, even though they smell pretty different. They're both non-sunscreeny, but tropical vacation-like fragrances. Now, which one would win? For me, it is Hibiscus Palm. Is it Hibiscus or Hibiscus? I'm gonna go with Hibiscus. So for me, Hibiscus Palm wins over Coconut Fizz because I think this one is nice. I think it's a nice fragrance. But like I said, it's a little bit, maybe a little bit too sweet for me. There's also something a little bit juvenile about it. Not everybody's gonna feel that way, but for me, I feel more like an adult and I feel more sophisticated wearing this one. It smells so chic. Remember the image that I gave you with the dress and the tan and you're just out for a nice dinner? This is just more for me, and I have worn it a couple of times. I have a little dent, but the other great thing about this one, because it's not the most budget-friendly fragrance, it's a niche fragrance, but the thing is, it has crazy performance. It really lasts and projects like crazy. This one, not so much. I don't think it's terrible though. I've heard people say that it has zero lasting power. I don't agree. It does last quite a while, but I would just say that it has like just average performance. And you do need to overspray it if you really want to have that massive coconut bubble around you, but it's not terrible. I don't think it has bad performance. This one has amazing performance, like amazing. So yeah, that was Hibiscus Palm and Coconut Fizz by Guerlain and Aerin. I think I'm gonna leave it at that for today. Like I said, there will be a part 2. I might be recording it right after this one, or maybe tomorrow, or I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna talk about some other categories of fragrances in my collection. So more wintry fragrances. There's an amber category that is coming up. There's a warm florals category, maybe some vanilla, maybe woody, even though I don't really have woody fragrances in my collection. We'll see, but yeah, there's more to come. And if you liked the video, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. You would really help out my channel by doing that, and it's free and easy for you to do. And of course, if you liked this video or any of my other videos, or you want to see more, feel free to subscribe to my channel. But for now, that is it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next one. Bye!